Welcome to our first edition of how to use Goobric and Doctopus to help expedite your grading. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have Goobric. So if you just open a tab and you search for Goobric, you can see that it's a web app. So you come in here, and for me it's already added to Chrome, but you can add it to Chrome right up here, and then it's going to pop up with this little eye thing up here. So that's the first thing you're going to want to do. The second thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you have Doctopus, which is a spreadsheet add-on. So as you can see here, I've got my calendar, and you're going to go to add-ons. And for you, it's not going to show up here. For me, I have it, but you're going to click on Get Add-ons. And then you're going to type right here, Doctopus, search for it, and then you can just add it right here for free to your Sheets app. Okay, so once you have both of those, you're going to use Goobric and Doctopus to help expedite your grading so that you can do all of your grading online without having to print rubrics, copy and paste them, do everything like that. So if you open Google Classroom, you just create a new assignment, and I'm going to call this testing number 1. And obviously you can leave instructions, and then you can attach whatever it is you need to attach down here. So I'm just going to click on this. And then one of the most important things that you have to do is you have to change right down here where it says students can view file. You need to change this to make a copy for every student. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to use the add-ons the way that you want to. So then you're going to assign, and you're done here. So the next thing you want to do is decide where you want to collect this data. So you might have a data folder in your Google Drive, or if you want to, in your Google Classroom folder, you can create a spreadsheet in those folders and collect data there. So I'm just going to open this data folder, and I'm going to open a new spreadsheet. And now that I have my spreadsheet, I can title it with whatever I want. So I'm going to make it match the assignment that I created in Google Classroom. So I'm going to say testing number 1 because that's the name of the assignment I created. Then I'm going to go up to add-ons, and I'm going to open up Doctopus. So then it's going to show up here on the side, and I want this to go away because it's actually hiding what I need. So I want to ingest a Google Classroom assignment, and what that means is then I don't have to add every student to this spreadsheet. It's going to do it for me. And then I need to come up with an assignment, so I need to choose a class first. So I did this in my 5th period class. So you are going to have to create a spreadsheet for each class. And then I'm going to go with testing number 1 because that's the name of this assignment. Then I'm going to ingest the assignment. And so now I can see all of the information that it's pulled from Google Classroom. So I've got my students' names, I have their email addresses if I need them. You can also, if any part of this is overwhelming to you, you can just hide some of these rows because some of these things are absolutely not important to the work that we're going to be doing. So I'm just going to hide those so it's a little less information. So right here it's telling me that they have not turned them in, of course, because I don't have real students completing this assignment. However, I do now need to attach my Goobric. And again, I keep having to press dismiss, which is actually hiding the important things over here on the right side of my screen. So make sure you just hit dismiss, and then you're going to attach a Goobric. So here, I actually created for you in the team drive for the rubrics. You should have every single rubric you could possibly need to use, and you are welcome to make a copy of those, add them to your drive, and that way you can use them here as a way to grade really quickly so you don't have to copy and paste the CSP or BP rubrics on your own. So I'm going to click this 10th grade textual analysis rubric because that's what this assignment is. I want the rubric to be viewable to students. These are the choices down here. You can allow for self-assessment and peer assessment if you wanted to, send notifications by email, and then I'm going to attach my rubric. So this part takes a little bit of time because it has to go through every single student folder and attach the Goobric to the assignment so that then I can use the Goobric to grade. Okay, so Over here, again, I'm just going to show you around. So if for some reason I need to change the Goobric that I attached, you can always change it here. And then there are various other features of this that you can look at on your own. You might want to refresh edits and counts just to make sure that your data is updating eventually. And then you can also look for new submissions. So if someone turns in something late, you can click this and then it will go back and it will see if anyone new has turned it in since the time that you generated this spreadsheet. So now let's imagine that I have my students and it says turned in here. So I'm going to go to this link that has the Goobric link on it, and I'm going to click here. For the student, for Abdul, we're going to start and we're going to grade his work. So you'll see on this screen what's going to happen is you're going to have the student's assignment and you're going to have your way to assess how well they did on each domain of the rubric. So we're going to imagine that Abdul wrote a really fantastic paper. And for his argument, he was proficient. When I click on evidence, he was proficient. Analysis was proficient. Wasn't great organized, so we're going to say that was developing. His conventions were a little limited. I can leave comments for Abdul up here. I can also, if I wanted, I could leave an audio recording. So now I'm going to click submit so that those scores now are going to be generated in my spreadsheet. I could also choose to email Abdul those scores if I wanted to. So then I can just go to the next student up here. I don't actually have to go back to my spreadsheet. So now I could grade another student. So this one was not as good. This part was developing. The evidence was emerging. The analysis was emerging. The organization was developing. And the conventions were developing. And I'm going to leave them a comment. And then I'm going to submit that. And now if I go back to my spreadsheet here, we'll see that the scores are being generated. But actually the best place to look at those scores are over here on this different sheet at the bottom. There are fewer formulas here, so if you need to copy and paste this data into another sheet, you can do that. But here I could keep track of all my students. I could also add a row. If I want to keep track of the averages for various things, I can do that by adding rows and using the formulas tab right here to create different formulas to see how students are doing in these various areas. That's all for now. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email.